lovely friends, and welcome back. My name is Hannah, and today I have a unboxing and trying the new Harbinger Palette by Game Beauty. I will have everything linked down below, everything that I'm wearing on my face, where you can get this palette, anything that I might mention in the process of making this video, ? I try to leave every link that I possibly can for anything that I mention if you were interested. I'm super excited to play with this palette for multiple reasons, and I will get to it through the video, and I'll leave like some of my final thoughts and opinions of the product till the very end of the video. As you can see, I pretty much have all of my makeup done except for my eyeshadow. I thought because I wanted this video to be focused on Game Beauty. You didn't really need to see me do the rest of my face. I wanted to try this brand for a while. They have a few different palettes. They have like a fantasy palette, which is like their blue palette. They have the green palette, which I think is called Adventure, and I can't remember what the other one's called. Right? Would this be their fourth palette? They don't really have any other beauty items so far in their brand. It would be kind of exciting to see what they bring out. I love when makeup brands can kind of explore different concepts, and especially a concept like this, because you don't really see this kind of collaboration. And the last time we saw like a big video game themed kind of collaboration, it was the ColourPop and Animal Crossing stuff, and you ended up spending so much money to have Isabelle and Tom Nook and the Mabel sisters and Blathers on products, but the products themselves, if you removed the packaging, like it wasn't anything exciting really. I'm really excited to make this video because of my like smaller status in the beauty community. Not that I think that getting something in PR means that you're going to be dishonest about it, and not that I think if you're someone with a big following are you dishonest and don't deserve to talk about makeup. I just know that when things are sent out as PR, there's different packaging. Like when I got my Apple collection from Claydos, I didn't get the purple packaging that they were showing. I got it in normal Claydos packaging, not that it was bad or anything. Claydos has beautiful, cute little packaging. But I didn't receive it in that same way that they were kind of showing it in all of their Instagram posts. So I was kind of interested to see if maybe I would get something different than what I had kind of seen. I know that the product was going to be the same, obviously, but I don't know. I thought that this would be fun, and I really wanted to have like the full experience of this. The reason why this is like my first time trying it versus the other palettes is because the other color stories didn't quite call to me, and the theming of it didn't quite call to me. Obviously, if you play video games, adventure and fantasy are like standard across the board. If you've ever played a Legend of Zelda or like The Witcher 3 or like literally any video game ever, those are common themes. They also had the one called the Victory Palette, which I thought was cute because they had a shade called GG, and of course that would be in the Victory Palette, but the names are fun. Like, I don't know, they're fun. I'm not a super like online competitor player by any means. I really got a computer that could do gaming only just a few years ago. So the kind of games that I play I was like very specifically console for a long time, and the computer games that I did play, they weren't really, they had like an online feature, but I never really played it for that. Like I played The Witcher a lot and like Cyberpunk, and I'm not very good at Bloodborne, but I can tell you all the lore of Bloodborne. Anyway, the reason why this is important and means anything is because I'm just super excited to have a brand that, again, has this sort of collaboration. And it's not a collaboration, it's their own concept of like video games and how they can bring that into like a beauty space that I think is so cool. So I'm really excited to see what else the brand will come out with. But let me show you the package that I received. I did already open it because I couldn't really help myself, but I put everything back in the way that it was presented when I opened it. I didn't want to lie, and you can tell because there's like a sticker on the inside and it's already like ripped across. So when you open it, you see this cute paper on the inside. And I can't remember what video it was. Was it my Halloween makeup unboxing? That I was talking about how I love indie brands because their packaging is always so unique. I feel like they really put time and thought into it. Even a bigger indie brand like Nabla, like the Nabla package that I opened, it had this cute like floral design in it that I thought, like, if that were the packaging of the product, it would be so cute. I don't spend my money so I can get these cute things that I end up recycling or just throwing away. I don't really save like inserts or unicartons or anything like that. Like, if it's not gonna serve me, why hold on to it? But I do recycle what I can. So like cute little packaging like this where it has like the little consoles and controllers and things. I have a partner that plays video games and Christmas is like right around the corner. So like I would use this to wrap a gift, which is really nice. But I think just in larger brands, I don't know if they like these little details like kind of go like under the rug. Like maybe if it were like a really big collection, but like if you were just making a normal order, would you be getting this kind of packaging is my question. And from what I understand, this is like the standard tissue paper that they use for everything. So then when you pull the paper back, there is this like sweet little card. The paper also feels really nice. If you're a paper like stationery person like me, it's like a matte finish, but it's thick, it's heavy. And there's like a little quote on the back, but I really like it because then you can see the like artwork. This is the artwork that is on the packaging and the unicarton, and I think it's so fun. Like it really kind of captures the essence of the palette, and it also reminds me of like anything Diablo 3 or Diablo in general. Like you couldn't tell me that was inspired by Diablo. And then this is the palette itself. And in my, oh, let me put this box down. So the palette itself, and I know that I've seen this in videos, and I just assume everybody has like the average size hand. Like, I don't think my hands are like particularly tiny. Like, I don't have like little kid hands, but I don't have like big like basketball player hands. But holding it in my hands, it does feel a lot smaller than like what I anticipated it to feel, and it does feel a lot lighter. Like in comparison to this like Makeup Revolution palette, which is freaking huge, you know, and like this feels heavy. It is what it is. And then when you open it, it is this cute like trifold palette. Here, I'll hold it this way because this is the right way. And so then you can see all of the shades. This one, I think it's called Abyss, really called out to me because I don't know, the way that it's swatched, I don't think it's, I wouldn't say that it's an iridescent, but it has like this shift. It's like this brown shifty tone that looks really cool. And this color story is like really, really fun. So I don't know, I feel like with this palette, or I feel like with this color story, you can do something really dramatic, or you can do something a little bit like lighter in tone, but it's still gonna give that like kind of smoky, dramatic flair or vibe, if you will. So I'm gonna zoom us in so we can get a closer look. And I'm gonna try to just do one eye, and then I'll probably finish the other eye off camera, just so this video isn't like super, super long. And I'm really like diving to get right into this palette. So let's zoom in. Am I in focus? Okay, if you notice a bit of a lighting change, it's because the sun decided to sneak away from me. It really is autumn and it will be winter soon. So I'm gonna try my best to be in frame because I know that I tend to like dip down and then you just see the top of my head. But what shade do I want to start with? What kind of look do I want to do? I'm gonna go in first with the shade Abyss just because it's calling to me. It is a soft formula and I did just get glitter everywhere, but I want to dip this into the corner. I think I'm going to try and do like a bit of a halo eye. Show off all the cool makeup skills I've been practicing. And the shade is just so interesting to me because it's brown, but it catches light in such a cool, interesting way. And I just want it in the corner of my eye. This might be my first mistake, because I wanted something a little bit deeper, but there is that black shade, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Actually, maybe if I go in with this shade, Whoa, I can deepen it up a bit. And then let me remember that this is a halo eye. Watch me not do this corner. I don't like to connect my halo eye only because like my lids, I don't know, I have a bit of like a hooded eye kind of situation. So if I close it, it's like it makes my eyes look smaller. But these shades are, I don't know, they're very soft and easy to play with. They lay down where I want them to go, but then I can also like work them out. Very different from my experience with with my Matrix palette. I don't know, do I want to go in with one of these mattes? Yeah, I think I do. Am I gonna take, I don't know, should I go in with this like Devour shade or this Molten shade? Do I want to go purple? Do I want to go red? I'll go in with Molten. So I'm going in with Molten and I'm just putting it over my shimmer. I know. Rookie mistake. But I want to deepen this shade a little bit. I don't know, maybe this is like the best video if you want to see how well you can make this palette look and maybe you're a beginner. Because I would never really suggest putting your matte over a shimmer. But like whatever this Abyss shade is, you can hear someone in my garage, sorry. Whatever this Abyss shade is, like it really like shines through. So I'm just gonna take like a naked, softer brush and just kind of blend these lines out. This is so very interesting. I am very intrigued by these shades. Again, I really wouldn't suggest putting your mattes over a shimmer, but it looks good. I don't know, or maybe it looks terrible and I just don't know any better, but it feels nice. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in with a flat brush and I wanna go in with the shade Dawn, but I am going to spray my shimmers because I always do. I never really use a glitter glue or anything. I just don't want the fallout on my face or as much fallout. I should have sprayed that Abyss shade if I'm being honest. And I'm just gonna swipe that in the center of my eye. And what I like to do with the shimmer shade in the center is kind of blend it out a little bit further than where I have it on my lid. I try, like if I'm looking straight, I try to keep the center shade kind of to the width of my iris. And then with the rest of the shimmer that's left on the brush, I just kind of bring it over. So when I turn my eye, you're still getting a catch of the center shade. I'm like really in love. Okay, and then I'm gonna take, when I go back in, no, I'm gonna take Whoa on this kind of like a denser, fluffier brush. And just on the edges of where I had put that center shade, Dawn, I'm just gonna blend that Whoa shade. And because it is a shimmer, kind of blending a shimmer with another shimmer together is a lot easier than with a matte. That's why I said I would never suggest putting a matte over your shimmer, but I don't know. This is a great formula. Okay, and then what am I gonna take for my lower lid? Should I take the blue? Should I take the purple? This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take Devour. And then I'm just gonna take a little bit more of that Dawn shade and just bring it up a little bit higher. Okay, and then I'm gonna do my other eye off of camera, like I said, do my lashes, and then I will give you guys some thoughts. I'm really excited. So this is the finished look, but I kind of wanted to show it to you zoomed in because on this eye, I did do the matte first, and then the Whoa, and then the Abyss shade on top of that. And I mean, I don't really see too much of a drastic difference, but I just kind of wanted to show what the formula looked, or like what the eyeshadows looked like when not used by an amateur. I still think it looks really pretty with putting the matte on top, but I just wanted to show you both so you guys can get a close-up look. And I'm gonna zoom us back out and then I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, so I really enjoyed playing with this palette. I obviously made like rookie mistakes in the beginning, but was still able to get a look that I feel comfortable in and that I think is really easy and fun to play with. I tried to use a range of the shades in this palette. I'm obviously going to come back in about a month's time and give you some of my final thoughts of this palette, because there are a lot of different shades that I didn't use. And I mean, like, it is the deeper blue and some of those grays and white tones in that black eyeshadow, but I feel like those aren't really shades that are like too difficult to play with. And I mean, the laminate shade and the phantom shade look similar to what I had in like my Juvia's Place palette. So maybe I'll do like another Britney look using those shades. But my only complaint about the palette is that instead of having like a gray matte and shimmer, I wish one of these, like either it be a matte or either it be a shimmer, was a more like a neon green kind of tone. I think that would have been really more like the Harbinger kind of like color palette, because when I look at this palette reminds me of, I think it's the moon in Destiny 3. It's all the same colors except for that like neon green shade that I really wish was in here. I mean, I have it in other palettes. I'm sure I could, like, that neon green and like the Club Nebula palette like would probably look really cool with this palette. But going back to my Destiny example, when you go to the moon, you see the big red towers. The moon itself is kind of like gray and silvery, and there's like the blue from the sky, and there's like the aliens that you fight have like red to them, and then like the main lady that like has her eyes all covered, she has like a green kind of aura to her. But I also get it, like I also get a lot of like Diablo 3 vibes, like watch me cosplay, watch me do a casual cosplay of the Butcher. How casual would that be? But I think this is a really fun palette. I think it's beginner friendly for sure. I was kind of nervous, like I don't know, there's some indie brands that like I'm hesitant to buy from because I think that like my makeup skill and like kind of what I use makeup for doesn't quite meet what those creators were making those formulas for. So I'm like, oh, well, maybe I just won't get the best out of this because I don't know how to use it. This is completely different. This is, like I said, this eye I put a matte over a shimmer like a crazy person, but it was really fun. And even catching like my eyes in the mirror and the viewfinder right now, like it looks super, super pretty, and I'm very excited to have this in my collection. I want to use it a lot, and I think the color story is also one of those things where, like, me myself, I'm not someone that's like you could only use a certain kind of color story for time of a year. If you wanted to be someone that did Christmas looks in the middle of summer, by all means, do your Christmas looks. But for me, a color story that I can reach for all year kind of thing, like I can see myself doing summer looks, I can see myself doing fall and winter looks, but it's like a switch up, like a variety. Those are always the palettes that I tend to love the most. Like my Gemini palette and my She's and Parties palette and my Club Nebula palette. There's a different variety of shades where when I reach for them, like I can do a really deep, dark, dramatic look, or I can do like a lighter version where maybe it's like not as dark in the corners, but like, you know, and it's just a bit more playful. I don't know if I'm really like explaining myself, but I think you understand. So would I suggest getting this palette? Absolutely. Even if you're not someone that's like into games, it's still a good formula. I think it's really neat that it does have video games, and maybe like someone watching this is like, what's Diablo? I want to play, which would be really fun. And if maybe you wouldn't want to play something like Diablo, you'll maybe want to play something like Destiny. I don't know. I feel like Diablo's kind of like dark, and then Destiny is kind of like sci-fi aliens. But I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions down below, and it's okay if you comment on my makeup application. I love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.